Good morning. Today we will learn the characteristics of language. Means, what are the characteristics of language? Language is a communication system comprising sounds, words, and grammar. Today, language is an inseparable part of human society. Human civilization has been possible only through language. It is through language only that humanity has come out of the Stone Age and have developed science, art, and technology in a big way. Language is a means of communication. It is arbitrary and it is a system of systems. We know that is primary while writing is secondary. Language is human, so it differs from animal communication in several ways. Language can have scores of characteristics, but the followings are the most important ones. What I will tell you in my speech further. Language is arbitrary, productive, creative, systematic, vocalic, social, non instinctive, and conventional. These characteristics of language set human language apart from animal communication. Some of these features may be part of animal communication, yet they do not form part of it in total. So, you have seen here, as like I have told, what are the characteristics of language. Now I will tell you one by one the characteristics of language. So first one, language is arbitrary. Language is arbitrary in the sense that there is no in, inherent relation between the words of a language and their meaning or the ideas conveyed by them. There is no reason why a female adult human being be called a woman in English, aurat in Urdu, zain in Persian, and female in French. The choice of a word selected to mean a particular thing or idea is purely arbitrary, but once a word is selected for a particular referent, it comes to stay as such. Second, language is social. Language is a set of conventional communicative signals used by humans for communication in a community. Language, in this sense, is a possession of a social group comprising an indispensable set of rules which permits its member to relate to each other, to interact with each other, to cooperate with each other. It is a social institution. Language exists in society. It is a means of nourishing and developing culture and establishing human relations. Next, third, language is symbolic. Language consists of various sound symbols and their graphological counterparts that are employed to denote some objects, occurrences of meanings. These symbols are arbitrarily chosen and conventionally accepted and employed. Words in a language are not mere signs or figures, but symbols of meaning. The intelligibility of a language depends on a correct interpretation of these symbols. Number four, the characteristics of language is systematic. What is the meaning of language is systematic? Although language is symbolic, yet its symbols are arranged in a particular system. All languages have their system of arrangements. Every language is a system of systems. All languages have phonological and grammatical system, and within a system there are several subsystems. For example, within the grammatical system we have morphological and syntactic systems, and within these two subsystems we have systems such as those of plural, of mode of, aspects of tense, etc. Next, number 5, language is vocal. Language is primarily made up of vocal sounds only produced by psychological articulatory mechanism in the human body. In the beginning, it appeared as vocal sound only. Writing came much later as an intelligent attempt to represent vocal sounds. Writing is only the graphic representation of the sound of the language, so the linguists say that speech is primary. So now you should clear here that speech means speaking is the primary rather than writing. This is a characteristics of language. Next, 6, language is non-instinctive and conventional. What is the meaning of this? That language is non-instinctive and conventional? Actually, no language was created in a day out of mutually agreed upon formula by a group of humans. Language is the outcome of evolution and convention. Each generation transmits this convention on to the next. Like all human institutions, languages also change and die, grow and expand. Every language then is a convention in a community. It is non-instinctive because it is acquired by human beings. Nobody gets a language in heritage. He acquires it because he an innate ability. Next characteristics of language, that is 7, language is productive and creative. Means language is productive and creative. Language has creativity and productivity. The structural elements of human language can be combined to produce new utterance which neither the speaker nor his hearers may ever have made or heard before any listeners, yet which both sides understands without difficulty. Language change according to the needs of society. Means what are the need of society? Time to time language change according to need of the society. So in this way we have seen several fundamental or main characteristics of language, but apart of these other characteristics of language has been seen seen. So we do not go detail because what are the main characteristics of language, just I have focused on that. Lastly, or you can say, or finally, language has other characteristics such as duality, referring to the two systems of sound and meaning; displacement, which means the ability to talk across time and space; humanness, which means that animals cannot acquire it universally, which refers to the equilibrium across humanity on linguistic grounds; competence and performance, which means that language is innate and produced in society; and furthermore, language is culturally transmitted. It is learned by an individual from his elders and is transmitted from one generation to another. Thus, using the first term, language is a polysystematic. It is also open to be studied from multifaceted angles. So, these are the characteristics of language. Thank you. Thank you all.